Star Wars The Force Unleashed is a character action game developed by LucasArts in the same vein as God of War. But where God of War has a lot of high points, Force Unleashed really doesn't have that many high points. It actually really falls short in my opinion. The game is supposed to bridge the prequels with the original trilogy. It's supposed to act like an origin story for the Rebel Alliance in the Galactic Civil War, but it's kind of confusing because there's not actually a lot of dialogue explaining what actually is going on. The main reason I think there's a lack of story in this game is because LucasArts was really trying to build up Starkiller. Starkiller is the guy you play as, and he's the new character introduced into the world of Star Wars, which is no longer canon anymore, thank you Disney. And he's Darth Vader's secret apprentice. And basically Darth Vader just has him running around killing everything in sight. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's supposed to be hunting Jedis, but Darth Vader's like, go kill everything, there can't be any witnesses, go kill all our stormtroopers that we paid money to train, go kill all the rebels, which should be the only thing you're killing, and go kill our machinery that we work on, just kill everything. It doesn't matter. And I don't really understand why Darth Vader just makes him kill everything. But I don't know. It's not really explained too well in my opinion, but hey, that's okay. But I digress. Because when there is actually a moment of story, it feels quite genuine. It feels charming because it feels like a Star Wars movie. In the beginning, after you meet Starkiller's robot friend, they share this little dialogue, and it's nice, charming Star Wars dialogue. It's something you don't really hear for the rest of the game. And then you see Juno for the first time, and they have like a little Han Solo Leia moment where you know for some reason he falls in love with her because the story's making it happen, but you see it and it's nice. And he's acting like a human, he's acting like a character. And later on, he doesn't act like a character. He's just kind of like, I'm the dark side and I'm gonna kill you. And that's it. There's nothing else. Only this first cutscene is when Starkiller acts like he actually has a heart and is human. I can't stress that enough. Because, I reiterate, in every other cutscene after this, he acts like a fucking robot. He's like, oh yeah, I'm the dark side. Blah, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you good. But here, just watch for yourself. You see what I mean.
Ah, Master! Another excellent duel!
Proxy, you did catch me by surprise. I haven't fought that training program in years. I thought you'd erased it.
I'd hoped that using an older training module would catch you off guard and allow me to finally kill you. I'm sorry I failed you again.
Well, I'm sure you'll keep trying. Yeah, but do me a favor. Don't ambush me anytime. Proxy.
Yes, why are we whispering?
Shh, who's that?
Ah, yes. Your new pilot has finally arrived, Master. Accessing Imperial records.
Captain Juno Eclipse, born on Corilag, where she became the youngest student ever accepted into the Imperial Academy. Decorated combat pilot with over 100 combat missions, and commanding officer during the bombing of Kalos. Hand-picked by Lord Vader to lead his Black 5 squadron, but later reassigned to a top-secret mission. Is there a psychological profile in there too?
Actually, yes. But it's restricted. Oh, Master, I can tell you she's going to be impossible to reprogram.
See, look at that right there. That is genuine human interaction. That is something characters need for you to feel something towards that character. Because if you just have a mindless robot running around going like, I'm killing everything because I'm evil, you're not going to feel anything. You need moments like these, even if they're just dumb moments where they just do something stupid, that's fine because it gives them character. Like, all the rest of the cutscenes in the game they don't even have movements like this, you know, where he grabs the robot and he's like, oh, get behind this wall. That doesn't happen. It's like stiff walking, stiff sitting, just robot talking nonsense. There's nothing. And it really saddens me because if they put more stuff in the cutscenes, like from the one I just showed you, then this game could be a lot better. And I wouldn't mind as much of the gameplay if the story was good. But where the story is, like, severely lacking, the gameplay is lacking even more. The gameplay is really similar to God of War. You have the boss fights and the QTEs and stuff, but there's no combo system, and there's no style system, which is, it needs, you know? If you're gonna make a character action game, you need these things. Because you end up just pressing
the same button like X, 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 and Y, 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 and X, X, and Y, Y, Y again.
for the whole game, and then that's it. You don't, you don't link combos, there's no combo meter, you don't do anything crazy. It gets really boring. And
You'll be sucked.
instead of a combo style system or whatever, the only thing this has is a kind of a point system where you get points for certain kills, similar to Bulletstorm, where if you like throw them out of a window, you get points. If you hit them with a box, you get points. If you throw a stormtrooper at another stormtrooper, you get points. And it's it's cool, but if they had it with an actual combo system, it would be a lot more fun. Because would you rather play a game like this, or would you rather play a game like this? See the difference? No? Well, I hope you do. You're limited to 2 weapons. Well, kinda 3, actually. Your lightsaber, the Force, and the environment. The LucasArts really wanted you to focus on the environment. They wanted you to, like, throw shit at enemies and kill them, and, like, do all this other stuff, like throw them through windows and stuff, but it's all actually very gimmicky. Because, like, really only in the first stage can you throw people through windows and suck them into the vacuum of space, and all this other stuff. And later on, you don't really get much of an option to kill people with the environment. You end up just throwing the same objects that are remodeled and retextured for different stages, like an explosive box that you throw on a Star Destroyer ship would be a plant that explodes for some reason on the planet Felucia. And it's really all repurposed. There's a lot of reused assets in this game. There's not a lot of locations at all. You pretty much only go to Kashyyyk, any Star Destroyer thing, because they all look the same. What else? The Junk Planet, I forget what that one's called. And I know I'm missing some. It's hard to think. But there's like, I digress. There's not a lot of planets. There's not a lot of locations, and there's a lot of reused assets and locations. And it just gets kind of tiring after a while, and it gets kind of boring, and I kind of don't want to keep going. There is the DLC that you get if you pay for it, or get the Ultimate Sith Edition, which is what I have, which has like Hoth and Tatooine and stuff like that. But I haven't touched any of that, and I'm sure it's a lot better than the recycled stuff from the main story. But it gets kind of tedious, to be honest. Speaking of tedious, the boss battles get kind of really, really tedious after a while, because not the sub bosses, but the Jedi bosses, they block like 99.99% of your hits, and you can't get a hit on them. And then you sit there hitting, and then nothing, and then they end up hitting you. Even if you block their attacks, they always have that one attack that opens you up, and then you just get bodied. But unless you cheese them out, which is what I ended up having to do, especially for the junkyard boss fight, you just gotta cheese them out until you can get their health low enough to where you hit X and you do the weird, like, QTE thing that's kind of really, really flaccid and not that fun. And even the sub-bosses are really shitty. Because they're usually a big thing, like, what do they call it? Rancor or something? Um, or like an ATST, or I don't even know. I don't know my Star Wars shit that well. But it's always some giant thing, and it ends up stomping all over the place. And that's fine, there's a lot of bosses in games that do that. But the problem is you don't have a cancel. You can't cancel your move to dodge around them, you know? And you end up having to just force lightning the shit out of them to stun them. And it gets so fucking old. And I fucking hate that this game doesn't have cancels because it ruins it. If you just put cancels in the game, you could do so much shit. You can link combos. Oh my god, LucasArts, what were you thinking? And speaking of repurposed shit, oh my god, the enemies are horrible! There's always just one person with a stupid stick who ends up whacking you, and some fucking jobber on the fucking roof or some shit with a machine gun just shooting, and there's some fucking sniper person just over and over, and oh my god, you have to like work your way around these fucking things, and you gotta kill them, and then they won't die when you throw them or throw stuff against them, and they just keep coming. Oh my god, I'm physically distraught about this just thinking about it, because I didn't notice how much stuff they repurposed in this game, and how much reused assets, because on the Felucia planet, there's the same jobbers who hit you with sticks, and on the Junkyard and Star Destroyer planets, there's even guys who hit you with sticks some more, and then there's the machine gun guys, and and the worst part is that they're not even really unique enemy types. They're just the same 3 enemy types that they repurposed, because they're so fucking lazy. God damn it, LucasArts, no wonder you got shot down! Okay, let me just throw this out there. I'm not the kind of guy to scream and get loud for attention or for views on YouTube. I actually just got really, really mad, because I just noticed how much of an opportunity LucasArts had for this game, and they kind of threw it out the window and took the lazy route. Because if you look at games like Devil May Cry and even God of War, there are a lot of enemy types. There's not just 3. There's always going to be the ranged enemy. There's always going to be the close enemy, and then there's always the flying enemy, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that they could have done, but LucasArts didn't. And I think if they put a little more effort, they could have gotten a way better game. They just added a style system, and like I said before, more enemies, and even just a little bit more locations. And this game would have been a lot more successful, in my opinion. And I think it would have been a lot more successful in general, because the reviews for this game were actually fairly good. They're not horrible, they weren't great, but they were good. They were like the fine line of okay, because it got a lot of 6s and 7s, and I don't know, I seen it got C's somewhere. I don't know what website ranks games with letter grades, but it got a C multiple times. But yeah, that's not too bad for a character action game, to be honest. So if you're like a real good Star Wars fan, then I suggest you get this game. But don't buy it normal. You gotta get the Ultimate Sith Edition, because you get so much cool shit that I haven't even mentioned. You get all these costumes, and in the game you can unlock power crystals and stuff for your lightsaber to change the colors and whatnot. So all these costumes you can mix and match. The only downside is they all hold their lightsaber backwards, so it's kind of not canon. But hey, Disney says everything's not canon anymore, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I just like playing as Darth Maul in this game, because it's sick to me. Like, I just love seeing Darth Maul. He's like the coolest Sith ever. And you could be Qui-Gon and Luke and all these other people. I mean, just look at all these freaking costumes. And then, like I said, there's a lot of lightsaber crystals too. But yeah. If you're not really a Star Wars fan, but care more about, gameplay and, character action games in general, I wouldn't say buy this game. I'd say go buy like Wonderful 101 or Bayonetta or Metal Gear Revengeance or even the new DMC. Like shit, that's actually a decent game. But maybe I am being a little too harsh on the game. There are some good upsides. Like I said before, the customization options are real nice. You can be almost any character you want. You even get to choose the lightsaber colors. And there are some moments that, you get that Star Wars feeling, that nice genuine Star Wars feeling, where you hear the music, real lightly in the background play, and it sets the mood right. And it takes you back to a time where as a kid, the only thing that mattered was Star Wars. And that's what made you happy. You and your friends talking about Star Wars, playing with lightsabers, playing Star Wars games together. And isn't that what Star Wars is about? It's about happiness. It's about being together as a group, with your friends, with your family, with conventions and whatnot. It's about happiness. So why be so harsh on something that really only wants to give happiness? So I say, if you're a Star Wars fan and you want a good action game for Star Wars, then I say this game just might be the one you're looking for. So go pick it up and enjoy it, and remember the good old days of Star Wars. I'm Ian Vidalis, and I'll see you on my next review. Later.